Good to see you guys. And well, first of all, welcome back to the franchise and welcome to the franchise.
Thank you.
What was it like for you to be back on your skates and, with these guys and then have some, new fresh blood?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I would shoot Goon every year if I could, I'm a hockey fan, so for me to be able to skate, be surrounded by my friends, and being paid to do it, it's the best summer I can have.
Yeah, I can just imagine. And, Wyatt, for you, I mean, hockey player, you had to give it up, unfortunately, but I think you're doing okay in the acting biz.
I hope so.
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
But to be back on skates in this type of an opportunity and acting at the same time,
Yeah.
what was that like for you?
It was cool. I remember being on the bus of the first scene that I shot, and it was coming on a bus, waiting to get off for Meet Your Family. And I look over, and there was a guy who I'd played with sitting next to me who had filled out the team. And I was like, oh, God, okay, this is going to be great. Like, I know how to do this. This is like playing hockey. Got it. And so it was really fun to be able to do that. And then add other parts of a character to a hockey player that was nothing like myself.
Yeah.
That was really fun to be able to do, too.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah. He wasn't a nice guy, but it's got to be fun to play the baddie.
Yeah, it always is fun to play a bad guy. I think playing a bad guy when it's done well and hopefully written well, that you get to see an empathetic side of a bad guy.
Yeah.
It makes the audience understand where that comes from, and also it creates a little bit more of a complex antagonist.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Mark, for you, was there any initiation for this guy? Like, I can't imagine that all you guys would just let him on without any.
Yeah, I mean, we met him because we had like a hockey boot camp before we started shooting, and so we did 3 weeks at the rink in Toronto, and he showed up after a couple of days, and we didn't really know him, and he got on the ice, and he was skating really well, and he had a really powerful shot. So we all went like, fuck it, we're just gonna introduce ourselves and be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone was so nice. It was like the nicest people ever.
I can imagine. I mean, seriously, what a great cast.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Jay. I mean, so many years later, he brings these characters back to life. How has Jay changed in your opinion? Or has he?
He hasn't really changed. If he's changed in any way, is that I think now he's doing what he's meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Not to remove anything from him being an actor, but I think he's so comfortable and I think he needs to direct.
Yeah.
And he's comfortable in that role. You can ask anyone that has seen him on set, and it's a really tough set for a director. It's a comedy. It's quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an action movie on ice with his friends, which is not helping that much.
No, I'm sure.
Right, yeah.
And
Because I can just imagine about it. I was going to say that how many takes it have to be, not just the skating stuff, but just laughing so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of that did you have to be like, okay, we got to do this again,
I've never said that.
Oh!
No, I mean, if I have to do like 20 times something hockey-wise, I want to do it 20 times,
Sure.
and I want it perfect too. So and the funny bits, I mean, most of the time they just roll and they just improvise and stuff, and it's tough for me because I'm kind of like the dramatic character, so I don't say anything funny, but I listen, and I cannot fuck up their takes. By laughing,
totally.
by laughing, so it's tough because at the end of the movie you see a couple of
the
bloopers,
outtakes,
and there's one in the locker room, and I remember that it felt like 4 hours, but it was probably like
I remember that.
3 minutes, and you were in the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
part,
yeah.
and I was in the shot, and I knew it, and I just couldn't hold it, and I was crying, and I was red, so I just went like this and got off the shot so they could actually do their bit without me fucking it up. So, but that's the hard part, is not to laugh.
Exactly.
Because these guys are really funny.
Yeah, you all are very funny. And, what is it about, it's funny in the screening that I saw this
Just
movie.
hear George looking at Trent, you look like a little Nazi weightlifter.
The screening that I saw, it's really funny to watch because the guys were like, pound them out. And the women were all like, is it over yet?
Right.
What is it with the violence in hockey that, I don't know, like, do you find it appealing?
Yeah, because we're men. and you're a woman, so it's different.
Well, that was my point.
Yeah.
No, but
There's
seriously.
a difference in how sexes view violence in sports, and for a man coming from out of the hockey world, when you put that much testosterone in a cage, you can't expect people to talk about their problems. You don't get 6 minutes to talk about your issue and why you hurt me in the corner in the first period. So in order to take care of that in the sport, that there's a self-relying mechanism that can actually take care of it. And then many times, often, the situation is then de-escalated. You find out who's the winner, who's the loser, and you go and you sit in a penalty box for 5 minutes. And at the end of the day, most people after done playing hockey are friends because you play the same sport and you're going for the same goal and everyone understands that. So the violence in hockey people, I think, take violence as what they see on the street.
Yeah.
And it's applicable to the ice when it actually has nothing to do with that. And but in a world in which we live, that's everything is put on social media and made an example out of, then one anecdotal moment can become the story for what is an entire sport that has nothing to do with it. So I think it's sometimes unfairly criticized for that reason.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to see people dying from CTE and all that kind of bad stuff. So there's a balance, and how you deal with that is an issue, and they're dealing with it now.
Yeah,
So I think it's fixing itself in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's less and less fights that are planned,
Yeah.
and I kind of don't really like that. But I know that hockey is a game of frustration.
Yeah.
I think outside of Connor McDavid, no one does what they want on the ice. They're always stuck, and it's frustrating. And I mean, I play once a week in a shitty league, and I mean shitty. Sorry guys, but I mean I'm not the best at all in that league. But I'm just saying it's not a good league, and it's frustrating. And sometimes I get a penalty, and I just shout stuff at the referee because I think it's unfair, and I'm pissed off.
Right.
And it's like a Friday at noon. It's like nothing serious.
Right.
And now
At
it's
least
like
you can go have a beer after, you know, and let it
totally.
all go, right?
no one works. Like it shouldn't
Totally.
be
Yeah.
serious,
Yeah.
but it just gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't leave this room without congratulating you on your performance in that Black Mirror episode. I
thank
started
you very
watching
much.
that. Have you seen any of these Black Mirror episodes?
Yeah, and I actually saw that one like 4 days ago.
Like unbelievable, you know, and you just
thank you
he
very
just
much.
came off as such a
Really kind.
likable guy because it's so. But what was it like to work on something like that? Because that was crazy.
It was special because Charlie Brooker's about as good of a writer as there is, and Dan Trachtenberg is one of my favorite directors. So they love movies a lot like Jay. They have very similar qualities in terms of the cinephile aspect of the way they approach movies. So working with those people is something that I've now strived to do because it makes for a fun experience and I think a good end result. And you really being able to put it in the hands of a director and a writer like Dan and like Jay is something that you can only. I don't make the movie. I don't make the show. They do. And then so them being able to give you the tools to say, no, trust me, don't worry about it. It's going to fit together really well. And you see the end result and you go, yeah, perfect, great, trust you.
Yeah.
It was very similar to
Good
this
stuff.
experience. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, you guys did a great job in this movie. I so enjoyed it.
Thanks
And
a lot.
6 years it took. My God. But, we'll
know.
see you maybe hopefully before another 6 years.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'd like to see what's going to happen next in this series. But congratulations. Pleasure to talk to both of you. And
Thank you.
best of luck with the film.
Thank you so
Thank
much.